Welcome to my channel. Have you ever lost everything in your life and felt there is no hope left? What if I tell you that losing everything can actually become the moment you discover your real strength? Today's story is about a man who lost his job, his dreams, and even his confidence. But in that darkness, he found something powerful inside himself that he never knew existed. Stay with me till the end because this story will change the way you think about failure and strength. Before everything changed, David lived a normal and peaceful life. From the outside, his life looked stable and successful. He had a full-time job in a company, a small home, and simple dreams for the future. Every morning, he woke up early, got ready, and went to work. He believed that hard work was the key to a safe and happy life. In English, we use simple present and past habits to describe daily life. He wakes up early. He goes to work. He earns money. He feels secure. But life is not always as simple as it looks. Inside David's mind, there was a quiet pressure. He was working long hours. He was trying to please everyone. He was building a life that looked good from outside, but slowly he was losing his inner happiness. He started believing one strong idea: if I have a good job, I will be safe forever. This is a common belief many people have, but life does not always follow our plans. Sometimes, when everything feels stable, we stop noticing small warning signs. David also ignored them. He thought everything would always stay the same. At work, he was respected. People trusted him. He was seen as responsible and hardworking. But he never stopped to ask himself one important question: am I really happy? This chapter is calm, but it is very important because every big change in life starts from a normal beginning. And David did not know it yet, but his life was about to change completely. Something unexpected was coming, something that would break his world and rebuild him again in a very different way. One normal morning, David went to work like always. He was tired, but still focused on his routine. He thought it was just another usual day, but life can change in a single moment. When he reached the office, something felt strange. People were talking quietly. The atmosphere was different. Then his manager called him into the room. In simple English, we can describe actions clearly. He walks into the room. He sits down. He listens carefully. Then he heard the words that changed everything. The company was facing financial problems. Many employees were being removed, and David was one of them. At first, he could not understand it. His mind stopped for a second. He kept thinking, this is not real. Maybe it is a mistake. But it was real. He had lost his job. In that moment, his world became silent. The place he trusted every day suddenly became unfamiliar. He walked out of the office holding a small box with his things. Every step felt heavy. Outside, the world was still moving. People were walking, talking, smiling. But inside David, everything had stopped. This is the emotional spike of the story, the sudden fall. He tried to stay strong. He told himself, I will find another job soon. But deep inside, he felt something new: fear. For the first time in many years, he did not know what to do next. That night, he could not sleep. His mind kept repeating the same thought: what will I do now? His stable life was gone, and a very uncertain journey had just begun. After losing his job, David tried to stay positive. At first, he told himself, it is okay. I will find something better soon. But days started passing, and things did not improve. He applied for many jobs. He sent his CV again and again. He waited for calls. But Most of the time, there was only silence. In simple English, we can say, he applies for jobs. He waits for replies. He gets no answer. Slowly, stress started growing in his life. Bills started coming, money started running out. He could not enjoy simple things anymore. Even small daily tasks felt heavy. He stopped meeting friends. He stopped answering calls. He felt embarrassed to talk about his situation. Inside, he felt like he was falling behind everyone else. One day, a close friend asked him, "What happened to you?" David smiled and said, "I'm just busy." But that was not the truth. The truth was, he was struggling. This chapter shows an important emotional spike: isolation. When a person feels alone, even small problems feel big. At home, he would sit quietly for hours. He would think about his past life. He remembered when he was confident, respected, and busy. Now everything felt different. He started questioning himself. Did I make a mistake? Why is this happening to me? These thoughts did not let him sleep peacefully. But the hardest moment came when he realized something painful. He was not just losing money, he was losing confidence in himself. Still, deep inside, something small was not completely broken. A small voice was still there, saying, "Don't give up yet." But David did not fully hear it. Not yet. Something deeper was still coming. The lowest point of his life. Days turned into weeks, and David's situation became even harder. He had no job, no clear direction, and very little money left. Every morning felt heavy, like starting a battle he did not want to fight. In simple English, we can say, he wakes up. He sits quietly. He thinks too much. Now, David was not only facing outside problems, he was also fighting inside himself. He started feeling like he had failed in life. He avoided mirrors because he did not want to see his tired face. He stopped believing in his own abilities. Even small tasks felt meaningless. One night, he sat alone in the dark room. No noise, no phone calls, no messages, just silence. This was the emotional spike of the story: complete emptiness. He thought about everything he had lost: his job, his confidence, his identity. He whispered to himself, "Maybe I am not strong enough." But then something strange happened. In that deep silence, a small thought came to his mind. A very soft voice inside him said, "If you are still here, it means your story is not over." He did not fully believe it, but he also could not ignore it. For the first time, he realized something important. Rock bottom feels like the end, but sometimes it is the place where new life begins. The pain did not disappear. The fear was still there. But now, mixed with that pain, there was a tiny spark of awareness. Maybe, just maybe, he was not completely broken. Maybe something inside him was still alive, and that small spark was about to change everything. After the lowest point of his life, something slowly began to change inside David. Nothing outside had changed yet, but inside, a small shift had started. One morning, he woke up and did something different. Instead of lying in bed thinking about failure, he sat up and took a deep breath. In simple English, he wakes up. He thinks differently. He decides to try. He told himself, "I cannot stay like this forever." This was not sudden confidence. It was a very small beginning. But small beginnings are very powerful. David started doing little things again. He updated his CV. He searched online for new skills. He watched free learning videos. At first, he felt slow and unsure, but he continued anyway. Some days were good, some days were bad. Sometimes he felt motivated, sometimes he felt tired again. But now he did not stop completely. This chapter's emotional spike is effort after failure. He applied for small jobs he never considered before. He also started thinking differently. Earlier, he believed failure meant the end. Now, he was starting to understand that failure can also mean learning. One day, after many attempts, he got a small freelance opportunity. It was not a big job. It did not give him much money, but it gave him something very important: hope. When he completed his first task and received positive feedback, something changed inside him. He smiled after a long time. He realized, I am not useless. I am just restarting. This was the moment where his inner strength slowly started to wake up. Not fully strong yet, but no longer broken. And this was only the beginning of his new journey. David's life did not become perfect overnight, but something very important had changed. He had changed. Now, he was no longer the same person who gave up easily. He had seen failure, pain, and loneliness. But he had also discovered something powerful inside himself: resilience. In simple English, he tries again. He works harder. He learns from mistakes. Step by step, David started rebuilding his life. He continued small freelance work. He learned new digital skills. He improved little by little every day. There were still challenges. Some days he felt tired. Some days he felt uncertain. But now, he did not stop. One day, something special happened. He got a better opportunity than before. It was not just a job, it was a chance to start fresh with more confidence. When he looked back at his journey, he understood something very deep. He did not lose everything. He lost what was not meant to stay. And in that loss, he discovered something priceless: his inner strength. This is the final emotional spike of the story. Transformation. David realized that life is not only about success, it is also about falling, learning, and rising again. He was no longer afraid of failure. Instead, he respected it because failure had taught him who he really was. Now he felt calm, strong, and grateful. He said to himself, if I survived my worst days, I can handle anything. And that was the truth. His story was no longer about loss. It was about strength, a strength he never knew he had. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below. What did you learn from David's journey? Your support helps this channel grow and helps more English learners improve through simple and powerful stories like this.